I have a lot of them because I realize I play a lot of half guard because I don't really care or start to pass my guard and step over to half guard. You should get to that point with your guard game where they kind of all start being connected. And then ideally, if you felt really comfortable with what we did the last couple of weeks with bottom side control, I always look at it like the bottom side control is an extension of your guard. And when you can start to see that and feel that, your guard gets way better because you don't really care if people pass, because you have a whole bunch of different avenues on being able to frame and work your way back to really where you want to be. And if you watch Modern Grappling, that looks like a lot like that. You guys watch Modern Grappling? You guys watch a lot of these super fights and things that are happening? If you're not, try to go on YouTube. There's a million of them, and there's actually, UFC's done them now, ONE FC, and a bunch of the other ones. Who's number one? They haven't done it in a little while, but they're constantly putting on cards where you should watch and see the way the top of the top grapplers are grappling and what the exchanges are like. And if you don't understand some of those exchanges, I'd be happy to talk about them. Like, man, it looks like that. People come up to me a couple of times, they say, yeah, I was watching this match, and like 3 or 4 times it looked like this guy was passed, and he would just kind of back out and then start passing again. Why is he doing that? It's like, because he knew he was going to reach. He was going to do something where he knew what the consequence was going to be, and it wasn't worth it. He was better off keeping the person down and passing the guard. So just to expose yourself to what it looks like at the top level, and then of course, they say imitation is flattery, right? Like you should try to imitate, even if you don't know what's happening, what that looked like, that vibe, that mindset, and then your game will get better because you'll start to try new things. It won't always work, but you're going to come up with a million different questions for the coaches here that can help you kind of put you on target to getting better at this, okay? So, really go and watch some matches. I say this to the MMA people all the time, too. Like, if you're not watching fights, go and watch them, and then you can do this with jiu-jitsu as well. If you want to watch them as a spectator, cool, but go back and watch maybe something you've seen before or something you haven't seen before, and only look at one person. Pick them at the beginning, whether they're going to win or lose, and I want you to watch just that person in that match. You can do it, because now you're going to focus on every little thing that one person does, and you're going to see why they lost, why they won, what were they successful at, and why you're sitting in the sidelines. It should be easy to see those sort of things, okay? So to me, all these things will definitely help with your game, and again, a lot of it is going to be mindset. So we're going to do, can I use these? We're going to do some half guard stuff. And I'm going to give you a particular game to work on for half guards, and this ties in with what we did before the bottom side control, which was the dogfight position. So if you're not familiar with, if you ever wrestled, how many wrestlers? Can you wrestle? Sure, you're going to raise your wrestle, right? Yeah. So dogfight looks like this guy. Real quick, right? He's got this whizzer, right? And we're both trying to win this battle. I might be trying to get to the back or front headlock. Obviously, he's trying to do something similar. He has the whizzer on top because he's trying to stop me from just taking his back. Obvious reasons, right? Okay. So we're going to start a scenario like this, or very much based on this, from our bottom half guard. The beginning of this is the most important part. Okay. I know a lot of times when I teach techniques, your brain automatically goes to the end, which is I get out, I get the sweep, or I get the submission, okay? I really want you to pay attention to this beginning part, and I don't want you to, rush it. Okay, so I'm going to go over all the defense. Here's the defense. We're going to start here. Half guard with initiative. Very typical scenario. Now, if I'm going to get an underhook on this side, I don't want it to look like this. And I start looking. You notice the arm is coming. We can see the arm coming in. So what I want you to do is disguise it. Now, don't, not this. And I say this because when I taught this at the beginning of the meeting, I'm looking around and I want to play this game man with some of the advanced guys. I'm like, that's cool, but he's going to change what he does. He's going to probably pop up and go near me in the inside, pop up with your feet, and go, look at it. And now we're playing a completely different game. So when you stay down and you're framing like this, I'm encouraging him to think that he's kind of winning, he's holding you down, and he's going to be able to try to low pass. As soon as I sit up, he's going to change what he's doing. Okay? So this is getting him to stay here in this position. Now the next thing that I want to do, I'm going to bring my knee through, then I'm going to put my hand on my knee, and I'm going to follow it in. Now, I don't want you to think about reaching with your arm. What I want you to think about doing is getting your shoulder in, but also taking your face and pinning it right on his chest or anywhere close to this. It has to be right on it. Okay? So I'm using this as my frame. When I'm ready to go through, I'm going to just follow my leg through. I'm going to sit up on my elbow and put my hand on his chest this. Did everybody notice I didn't reach with the arm? I just made sure that I got my head in position here. Now, what I want you to notice is, it's not this, because he can still come back and win the whizzer position here, and now my head's getting smashed and I'm this person. When you get to this spot, he's automatically going to try to get the whizzer, and we're going to switch to this. Hand is upside down toward the middle of the back, and I have high elbow. So what I want you to see here is, this part of my elbow is the most important part of what we have. I want this part of my elbow to be in the armpit here. So, before I go back in this position, because I don't know if you can hear me when my head is facing this way, I'm going to explain how some of this works. Stay back in that same position. Boom, you look like this. Okay, I want his hips to come over his knees, so he has to depend on his hands. Does that make sense? So when we sit up the first time, instead of me thinking that I'm just going to manhandle AJ into the position that I want, I need to make him weaker first. So the first time I might get in on this, if I don't feel like I can get to the next spot, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this slow so you can see it, okay? So again, I sat up and I get to here and here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make him put his hands down because he's connected to me. Right? So I'm going to go high elbow like this. I'm going to collapse my other elbow knee. Make sure that I don't let my shoulder open up past 90 degrees. So it's like this. Does everybody see how I stayed here? Now, what I do want you to notice is my elbow stays up. So if AJ just wants to sit back in a straight line, he cannot do it. Right? He's going to take all of his weight off me and sit up, which now I get to here and I get really deep on this. Now I don't care, he can whiz me as much as he wants. I'm so low and I'm so close to his hip and I'm already in deep, so now I can turn this corner. I'm just going to sit up and take this leg out, and we can go anywhere we want. Right? If he pushes into me, he's going back over the top. I hit, boom, and we follow him right back over the top. If he doesn't push into me, right, we're going to start to work around toward the back, and or he tries to re-grab the whizzer and fix his position, I'm going to come right back around and get the front headlock position. Okay, so what I want everybody to get here in the beginning is I sit up first, I get a high elbow, I make that person put their hands on the ground. Okay, I'm going to give you a two-step process to this because there's two major variables that happen that you're going to see all of the time. The first one is what just happened. I held my elbow high when he went down. He felt like he had to put his hands down on the ground and push himself back up. I'm timing that. So when he goes and sits back up, I go and sit back up. And you notice how I slide in and get really close. Head goes on the lower part of the body, and we're grabbing lower hip close to or below where the belt line is. But you're going to notice I'm already beating him 3/4 on the turn when I sit back up the second time. I'm going to do this part again, and I'm going to do it when they don't sit back. Okay, these are the only two things that we're going to do today. So I'll do it on this side. Boom, and I have this frame here like this, right? Anytime that you can pay attention to this outside hand, it's probably a good idea. I did this with Mark as a drill, and I went to go sit up, and I did grab his hand, he poked me right in the eye. And he didn't mean to do it, it was just like a reaction. And we were just doing it like this, it was like, right? So I'm going to frame him here. When I'm ready to bring this through, hand goes to the knee, head goes to here. Don't reach, look, I don't reach. Look, I didn't even reach with the arm yet. I just bring my head into position. I come high elbow. It's great. He's got a whizzer. That's fine. I'm going to bring him back. So watch. I bring my elbow high and I bring him through. Yeah, look at it. He's fighting. That's fine. If he doesn't want to go anywhere, he's got a pancake on me. Let's stay. This is the second part anyway, so I'm just going to do it. He didn't sit back and now he's like, you know what? I'm not going to move. Smart move. Sometimes people do it. I'm taking the leg. I'm opening this up. And now he can't bring his head back here. So now it makes it a lot easier for me to work my way back here. Boom. We come right back through, and I end up on top. Go ahead. So, you want to say something?
I have a question.
Yeah.
So if you go back to the next player, let's go and did the right buckle, you switched it, right? You come here, and I try to pick you. Are you not worried if they are like hip to this,
Then they can't.
uh,
But again, I'm usually not. But I'm usually not gonna like hang out there. And honestly, let's go back. I'm really gonna look out for that.
Bone, right? And we get here like this. Anytime that I feel like you might try to backstep on that, I'm gonna just create this little bit for here. That's fine. Now backstep. Yeah, I can get it.
okay.
Right? So all I do is switch my foot to the inside. If you want to do that, I'm totally fine with that, right? Because you have time to kind of like put the feet in place and play with it. But the main thing is like he wants to get a strong wizard from this position or bring his head back over. And because his hip is way out here, his head won't go back this way. Everybody go on your knees real quick. Good. I want you to stick a leg out to the side. Stick a leg out to the side. Okay, stick your leg way out to the side. Way out to the side. Good. Now try to turn the other way too. Try to turn into it. Try to turn into it. Can't go, right? So your hip is stopping you from turning in. So now that we make this person weak, this is my position where I'm going to get up. So again, I can roll him over the top. I can knee tap and come back through. Or I can go away, over the top, and cut back in the front headlock position. There's probably more, but you just stick with those three. Okay, the two ways that you're going to do this drill. First about top needs to understand what you're doing, right? If we were grappling and you just had to make a decision, most of the time the decisions are going to look like this. Right? We agree? Because you realize when you get to here, that this doesn't feel that good. So most people don't just stay like the basic parade flow and float over the person, right? But if they do, that's the second part. First one that I really want everybody to find the timing for, because I feel like, especially in a competition style round, is going to be the thing that you're going to get when somebody gets off balance. If you don't want to give this guy any, or girl, right? You don't want to give them any position. And as soon as they got here, move, yes, I'm doing this too. I'm going to try to get my hips back underneath me and back up. So this is going to be the most common. Then we start right here. I'm going to follow this knee through. Again, don't reach with the arm. Try to get the shoulder in and put the head on the body.
This. High elbow. And this time what? Here's the one you're doing. He's going to sit back as soon as I bring him through. Go sit back, right? How's the first one? Sit back. Yes.
Everybody see the timing on that? Now, I guess the third what if is, he just sits there and fights me and he doesn't come forward. You can just do it short and just push him over. Right? We can always rock the boat from here because we have this hook here.
Now, I go to rock 40, you just want to go.
Did everybody see this whole thing as like, I'm going to pull you in this direction, and I'm going to wait to see how you respond. And I already know how he's going to respond. He's either going with it, or he's pulling against it. If they pull against it, what do? Go with it. If I get him to come down, I know he's going to come back and resist. I'm going with it again. Does everybody see how this works? Should we get some part? Yeah.
When he is hanging behind me, when he has partial with it, but doesn't have the full weight because you're up here on it, you go to roll him like you were before.
I have to sit up first, yeah.
If they face, yeah, but you roll them with it, like where you guys are going. If they face out with their arm, you just come back in.
Yeah, we gotta come right back and go.
Come back in and go up.
But very rarely am I gonna roll him from when he's pancaked on me over the top.
Yeah.
Because I have to sit up first.
Oh, all right.
And if I can't sit up and get my head back to the inside, I'm not gonna roll the person if they're usually gonna win in that stage. Right? So that roll through is always gonna be when you get your head close and you've got a good grip on the shapes.
Okay.
Alright, so for my newer guys, make sure that you jump in a group of speed here for a little bit. We're gonna drill this for about 10 minutes.